How can I change my beliefs?
Changing beliefs is a very, very complicated thing, or so it appears. You see, most of us don't go deeply enough into the process of how beliefs are structured. So here's something. First of all, we have to begin with what are my core beliefs. Sometimes I think about playing a little game with, well, let's see what Johnny believes. Let's see what you believe, and we think it's some kind of a magical, mystical experience. But all we do is report. We would then report back to you what the events and the circumstances are in your life. Those are your beliefs. So, is there struggle? I know all about struggle. Part of the thing with losing one arm was learning how to be patient and learning how to cope with struggle. That was a bad thought. How about this one? Oh, rusty nail in the eye. Oh, bad thought. So what happens now is that mind continuously thinks thoughts. No big deal. Those thoughts form clusters and they get filtered through our core beliefs. Now, our core beliefs at a certain point in the journey, they become fixed, or so it seems. And I suspect that a fair amount of our world is structured around that. The whole idea of Madison Avenue, an advertisement, they try to trigger those core beliefs. So changing those beliefs has to do with witnessing them, observing them, and this is something you have to memorize. You've got to be willing to witness and observe without judgment. And then the process that you go through is sort of like a journal, a notebook, and you just jot down some of the circumstances. Later on, you begin to try to figure out, what was I thinking? And that's a fun thing, honey, what were you thinking? Or the person says, I don't know what I was thinking. And we say, well, actually, we do, because there's a ticket in your hand, okay? And you really need to give yourself permission. This is so essential. You've got to give yourself permission for maybe not already having gotten it right. That's complicated to say it that way. Let's try it again. You've got to be willing to give yourself permission to be okay with the fact that maybe you don't have it all right yet. Because what happens is we become defensive. The moment I become defensive, there's no more communication. And remember, the entire process that we're talking about is activating and then cultivating that sort of inner voice of guidance or that intuition.